You know, Chris Matthews yesterday asked Donald Trump about outlawing abortion in America and who should pay the consequences if they break that law. Here's what he said.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't know. That I don't know. That
Why
I don't
not?
know. I don't know.
You take positions and everything else.
Frankly, I do take positions and everything else. It's a very complicated position.
So he managed to do the impossible with those comments. He found something that both parties can agree on. Take a look.
What Donald Trump said today was outrageous and dangerous.
I mean, I do have exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother, but of course women shouldn't be punished.
Being pro-life is not only about defending the unborn children, it's also about defending the mothers, defending the women who have the incredible gift of bringing life into the world. And so I think what Donald said was unfortunate. It doesn't make any sense.
The thing that kills me about Donald said it's a complicated position. And I think for most people, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, it's not a complicated decision. And I think what troubles me is I don't really know where he stands. And for me, for you guys, I know it's a core value, whether or not you're pro-life or pro-choice, and I just don't know where.
But I think it's a complicated decision, and it's not. When you're talking in an interview, especially because he's talking about punishment, I felt like Chris Matthews was hammering him so much so to the point that Donald looked flustered, didn't know what to say, and then that comes out. Yeah, he wasn't prepared, and and he should be prepared. Exactly. He wasn't. That came out of his mouth, and it was horrifying. And it's like, if you are pro-life, you do need to know the position, Donald. And then his camp came back and said, well, here's what he really meant. And I just, it was
that's
like...
what they constantly do. His camp is constantly, you will never hear a Trump line or quote without maybe 3 hours later his camp explaining what he meant. He is very rarely saying stuff in a straightforward way. And I have to say, Paula, I actually think it is complicated whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. It's not, I think the reason why it's such a heated discussion is because it's personal to everyone. And so even as a pro-life person, you might have, like John Kasich even said, feelings if someone was raped or if it was incest along those lines. So it's not black or white. As far as Trump goes, I'm like through being enraged by him. I have no energy left to give him.
My life.
I just feel like his supporters love watching us scramble and panic about him, and I'm almost through giving him that energy. I don't know what
for me, I'm not surprised that it ended this way, because in the town hall he said, I didn't have to choose until I started running. We have to remember, he wasn't a politician before this. He doesn't know exactly what he needs to be prepared for. Supposedly, if you've never been in, government in that way, you're learning as you go on. And I'm not standing up for him, trust me, because I'm totally down for a woman having her choice. That's what I would want. And I don't agree with Cruz either. I think you're protecting the woman if you give her the choice. That's how you protect the woman, not automatically telling her what she should do. But that's not the point. Trump needs to understand what you need to do to become the president, and he's learning as he goes.
I wish that I would have had more respect if Donald came back and said, hey, listen, I sleep 4 hours a night. Chris Matthews flustered me, and I gave an answer that sounded terrible.
His camp did
I know, he's not going to apologize, but I would have had more respect if he came out and said, I would have preferred to say that instead of his team just releasing a statement.
This would be a very different election if Trump had any humility whatsoever, and he doesn't. So we shall never expect him to apologize or accept blame.
And that's the thing a lot of people have a problem with, is that there's just no real contrition coming from him. And I'm sorry, everybody has to say I'm sorry every now and then, but I do want to say his camp did release that statement, and he did clarify, or his camp did, and they said the doctor or any person performing this illegal act upon a woman would be held legally responsible, not the woman.
That law's always already in place, though. Right. That's an existing law. If it's an illegal place, someone